see what Ace is up to still. So he's cautiously peeking around mid. AK in the in his hands. Can he get any of these frags? You can see that Gamersject are playing very defensively here. They have got some sort of foothold within A because COD4 has snuck up to the roof, but he's also left a teammate in a little bit of an awkward position because if, for example, Lukey does come walking in with that bomb, Bounty may pick him up, and Bounty does exactly that and does get the frag onto COD4. And now Lukey is in a very bad place as Ace will get the deagle onto. Him
Look
now,
towards
Exor. X. What does he do?
Oh, she's back.
Is that DS lagging or is that me?
That's you.
Is that me?
I'm pretty sure that's you. Definitely cutting out
sure?
there. He's picks up the final frag on Exor.
Go for it. Yeah. You take this round away while I see if I'm actually lagging.
Yeah, that one definitely went a bit funny. So,
yeah.
Are we going to see... Are they going to come back with anything here? Gamersject, MPK, or MKP, or Bob, whichever we want to call him. It's Ron making his way through. Miles does pick up the shot. Our picks up two as well. Yonstar and X still going down. Still following MKP as he works his way in. Flashed up. Ace is surely going to be around here. He's just in a white haze. He doesn't know what is going on. Diving, hiding in them kitchens. He has got Ace just around the side. Katana taking down Lucky as well. Everybody's going to die before MPK finally makes it. And Ace was there, of course. Bounty tried. And they've got a glimpse of the last one. It is COD4. He's up in the spawn point. They're just closing in from every angle. And Miles picks up his third of the round. A very, very clean round. And a 5-0. I hate to say this is very one-sided.
Very much so. I think my internet service provider is being so upset that it's so one-sided, he's making me lag. So kicking us away with Miles with that scope on B long. And you can see how much an advantage a defensive team would have sitting down here with that scope. So the likes of Prank absolutely dominating it. It truly does just show what a player he was. So we can see 19 A's picking up one for themselves. And now there's only 3 players remaining for the Gamersject side. Can any of them work some of their magic? I think we've got COD4 once again in that top A area, but he's making so little impact, before he gets there that he's just not helping his teammates out at the moment. But Yonstar picks up 2 for himself, and now all is resting within the grips. I believe it's Miles and Ace now. Have to pull this back as Miles with the scope in mid does spot the enemy scope, dives away because he wants to watch that crossing A, because that is where the bomb is going. So you do see Exor here with that bomb to hand. Can he get this plant down? Because that will truly put Rage on the back foot with a bit of a timer on what they can do. So COD4 dives around, does trying to help him out, but Miles drops him down as Gamersject will pick up one more frag, and now it's all on Ace with the AK sitting on top of that sandbag area. Spots one in mid-A. Doesn't want to make too much of a noise as he drops off here, but he does run into a sandbag. That's not ideal. And now dives down. Now you can see both players setting up and watching both sides as Exor hold close, but Ace is in a world of pain now as the spam comes down from top A. Fails the flash. That is not how you want to be doing this. And it does drop to the AK work finally of Yonstar. First round going to Gamersject. And I think that's the first round they've actually had the bomb down as well. Maybe that's been what they've needed to do.
That's certainly the first round they've picked up, looking good. Let's see if Miles can stop them going down B. Looks like they're not even going to attempt it. They're scared to death of that scope down B right now. This is what we talked about at the start. Obviously, the days of Prank just dominating that B sniper. And there's no chance he's going to go anywhere near it. So that immediately tunnels Gamersject straight towards trying to go through A. Lucky just got a glimpse of Ace there, but they are going down left, right, and centre here. It's going to be Lucky getting another one. Ace, the last man standing. This could be a quick fire round for Gamersject. Wow, they turned it on suddenly. Where the hell did that come from, and why is it not happening 5 rounds ago?
I am baffled. So I'm going to follow COD4 here, who has the SMG, good little A spawn. Can he make the difference, or is he just going to go to top A again and not really make much of an impact on the site? As much use as you may think in your brain, oh, I've got A guys, you're leaving a whole site open for your teammates just to get killed in. So Katana taking Yonstar down and 90 with 1 for himself. And now 2 players down for the Gamersject side. Can they claw this back with 5 German players to pick from? COD4 holding lower A now. He's learned from his mistakes, waiting for his teammates to push up with him, but you can see that Rage have made themselves truly well known in mid, pushed up near King's Car and Pillars. So all of the Gamersject players are just holding back a touch. They don't want to put themselves in an awkward position as Bocky will spot one, and that was 90. Pushed up towards that little chopper there. Does drop him down as Ace will finally shut down COD4. He was having a little bit of a free roam in A, and now only 2 players remain for Gamersject. You can see Bocky here towards A, bomb in hand, and another player near broken wall, and that will be Exor just trying to help him out and get a pick, but he doesn't manage to do so as Miles will pick up the frag onto Bocky, and now Exor has to get them, but he cannot do so, and now it does seem as though Rage are back in that firm hold of the lead.
It's interesting to see how the wall banging positions aren't used half as much as they used to be on A. Like back in the day, there used to be so many spots as sort of spamming. I could see on the stairwell there, Ace was just sneaking around and following him, but nobody was wall banging at all there. MPK is going to work his way in. MKP even not getting right way around eventually, but he's going to get flashed up heavily, and again he tries to work his way around there. Ace has been taken down, so A House may well be free. So I think it's just Bounty that's there. 90 and Miles, the last two remaining for Rage here. Quick round again, possibly for Gamersject. MKP's trying to flash it up. He's going to try and hop it over. No, he's not. He's going to give up on that one. He didn't want to be shown off on camera whether he made it or not. That's always the question. He is going to pick up an easy frag on MKP, though. On 90, sorry. And Miles, the last man standing with that scope a long way back. And he's going to have to go very defensive checks towards blue rooms. Doesn't find one. Goes straight over towards A House. Catches a glimpse over towards this bomb. Tries to stop the plant. Doesn't happen, though. Does get a tag on towards Colty. Not enough, though. Not nearly enough, in fact. And he's going to have to go mad dashing! And practically craters, but Colty picks up the kill. So another good round for Gamersject. They've got to pick up a lot more of these, though.
Yeah, just a touch. And I'm going to have to die with Ace here, as it does seem as soon as that man falls, Gamersject have a chance. I don't know how pivotal he's being at A, because I don't think I've actually followed him yet, but let's see what he's up to. SMG working A, doesn't seem to be having much trouble as of yet, as there's a bit of a flash. Not too many quick nades coming out against him, but he's now flashed and now has to wait and sit tight and hope that one of his teammates comes in to help, as Colty will pick up the frag onto 90. And now Ace is left very much alone at A, but there we go. Miles comes in with a bit of support there, and there is a player just below him. Miles picked up another frag onto Yonstar, and now only 2 players remain for Gamersject. Now I've got to switch across to who this is in A, and it's Colty's walked right behind Ace, and soon enough I'm sure Ace will turn around and pick up this frag, unless his teammate does it first, as Colty pushes around and Bounty gets him down. And now I believe it's Exor last with the scope. Does try and pick up Bloom, but Katana there flies around with the AK and picks up that frag. 7-3. Not awful scoreline, I don't think. But if you're a Gamersject right now, I don't think the confidence is going to be too high.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not too sure why they keep trying to push this B. I don't think I've seen them get down there once yet. They've not even got close to it. Miles has just shut them down every single time they've whiffed it. And Bounty opening up with a grenade on Colty there. That's going to cause problems for Gamersject already, because Colty's been the one that's causing problems for them, and Ace does get up a frag as well, so top of 8 house is already covered. MPKP getting fragged up again. I'm just going to call him Bob, I can never get his name right. Lucky the last man standing. This has all gone very one-sided for Rage. He's getting tagged up, they know the blue room and they're just shooting the crap out of it, and he goes down 8-3. Easy stuff for Rage there.
Yeah, it does seem, Ace has been so pivotal at the moment, and with the likes of Colty, he does get into A, and I hate to say it, but he's really not working it like he should with SPG. He needs to secure the areas that his teammates can actually come in from. So Yonstar taking us away into this round, dropping 90 out of this round. I just repeated that twice for some reason, but I'll go with it anyway. So let's see what's been coming out here. And you can see Bocky make his way down B long. And he hasn't been spotted yet, so he could make a massive difference here. Let's cautiously peek round, and there's Katana holding it firm and saying, hell no, get away from my B bomb site. Bounty with one for himself, and now the advantage rests with Rage, but I spoke too soon as Exor will take down his counterpart, which was Mars with the scope, and now all is even, but Lucky not anywhere near a site, neither has the bomb, but Exor picks up another frag onto Katana, and now advantage is within Gamersject's grasp for once, but Ace is still standing, so let's not count him out, as he's been going absolutely huge for his team, and 2 frags to find. So you can see the Rage players splitting between the sites, but now Ace is in an awkward predicament, as there's 2 bomb sites to cover here. He was at A, he got, his teammate was killed towards B, and does spot one in front of Hardware there, does get tagged up, so he's got to do something absolutely sensational now to get out of this awkward predicament. Prones out just to not get spotted. He's going to assume the bomb's going down B, it does spot him at Hardware, oh, he misses the deagle! No, Ace, that is not how you want to get that round. And it does seem as though Gamersject will pick that up, and Exor doing really well for the side that round. It does pick up a good few frags. It was 4 or 5?
4, I think, went there. Very nicely played indeed. And considering he's only got 9 in the entire game, yeah, picking up half in one round's not a bad pickup, really. So clutching it when it counts, 8-4. And they really needed that round, because honestly they're going to have to pull out an immaculate defense here to stop Rage getting their way through. Let's see how Miles does opening up straight away against this Exor. Exor did manage to get the better of him in that last round. Will they push B, or will they just pile across to A? Looking like A may well be, and Exor does go down to the grenade straight away of Katana. Let's move across towards Gamersject. MKP trying to cover up the back of A. I'm going to switch across to someone that's actually making the way in there. Bounty with the bomb is working his way towards that A side. Lucky has managed to take down Miles though. So Scope down, was working his way around. Bounty goes down as well. 90 picking up a frag on Lucky, straight away replying. MKP does manage to find one, takes down Ace very nicely. 90 last man standing. Could this be the start of something great for Gamersject. They need it, and they get it.
Oh.
MKP very nicely, 8-5, and it could well be game on.
That was a fantastic eagle, by the way. I think it was from Colty there across mid, and that was absolutely sublime. So let's follow Katana here as he is going towards A. And he's the SMG player for the Rage side now as he switched up from scope from the previous map. Drops a little nade out towards back A. Not met with too many flashes or nades for himself, so he's got a nice little route there. Spots one back A. Can he land the frag? Tags him up within an inch of his life. Dives round. Oh no, that is not what you want to pull off smoke. But Bounty with a quick reply upon him. And now it is a 2-on-2 situation, as the bomb is in that A area, but is not down on site. So Exor watching the doors with that scope, waiting for his moment to pounce and get the shot on the cross. Will he hit it? That is the question, as both players are waiting to get in. They're trying to work a pick in mid, which is not going to happen. I don't think Yonstar's going to be that stupid to peek too much. He's just got to sit back and hold that mid area so they can't rotate. So now, there's the shot that Exor just missed. And can he get the little bit of a wallbang? Bomb will be going down as 90 gets a lovely pick onto him with a headshot. And now Yonstar has to get moving through mid. Advantage with the Rage side now as 90 and Ace is still alive. Spam comes out towards that little mid pillar area where Yonstar is waiting. Tries to draw out a little bit so he has a chance, but I don't see this happening with 32 seconds on the board. This is a massive uphill struggle, literally getting into A. Tries to get a pick onto Laurie, but he's not there. He is top A. 9-5's the scoreline, and Rage do seem very comfortable now on the attacking side.
You got to question Yonster there. I mean, if they know your position, you're hiding. You don't just look the same way 3 times in a row. They kind of know you're there. So you're not really going to be anything sneaky. They go, oh, look, he's looking again. Let's just shoot him, shall we? So Miles works his way down in towards the straight down the alley. Easy shot on MKP there at the back of A house. And, well, Katana also picking up a frag, and they've cleared out B already. You can see Miles leaping around with that. Diga's going to switch the scope, maybe. Go long. 90, though, does manage to pick up a kill on Exor. Lucky does manage to close it out. But Katana was there in support of Miles. And a quick, clean round from Rage. They are romping through. Timeout.
Oh, timeout's how I love you. I don't know if it's tactical. No, it's not actually. Bocky has lagged out, so there we go. There is an excuse for it, not just to have a little team chat and sort stuff out. So, if, personally, if I was Gamersject right now, they're not without a hope of winning this and bringing it back. There's a couple of rounds to play with, but they've got to start actually thinking about what they're doing. They just seem to go towards A. They might get picked off by Ace, and then they just kind of dither about. But when they're, when they're actually really strongly pushing in, they're getting the bomb towards site. Even if the player with the bomb gets dropped, there has to be one soon behind to take up the mantle and carry it on and get that bomb down. Because as soon as they do that, people like Exor are missing the shots on the cross. Because I think he might be lagging, which he can't help. But it does seem to let them get into A. So hopefully, Gamersject just kind of wake up a touch here and go, guys, what can we change up a bit? What can we do to defend this a little bit better? It's the likes of Ace truly put them on the back foot. He's on 16-5, and on Crash that is amazing. You might see that from a scope, you might see it from an AK even. But if you're playing A as an SMG, you have to be there at all costs. You can't overly rotate, you can't overly peek, and to pick up that many frags just means he is playing really, really well. So credit to that man. But we do see Colty as well on the top of the scoreboard for the Gamersject side, who was also playing A on the other side. So you can see they're going tit for tat with frags, but you can see who's playing it better overall for the team, as Ace truly picking up so many rounds for Rage. And now, I must say, personally, I don't think there's going to be much of a comeback here, but D-Man, what are your thoughts? Do you think we'll be seeing much of a change, or is this it?
I'd love to say there would be, but I'm not too sure. And like you say, there's a lot of rides on Colty. Seems to be when he goes down, there's a bit of a problem. Exor, so can see Exor and 9 frags. We know 4 of them were in one round, so that's a little bit misleading. He has really been losing out the fight against Miles at the moment. Ace really was just sat in the A house the whole of the first half and absolutely dominated it. They couldn't get down B, they couldn't get down A. What were they going to do? They just got lost in the middle and just kind of scattered in the wind and completely destroyed. Miles rejoins as well, so throws away his top score that he had there. I think it was MKP that was also that disconnected, which is why we've had this timeout at the moment. But yeah, it's been a very interesting game. And obviously Rage, clearly the stronger team at the moment, looking good for the semi-finals. This has been a best of 3, of course. We've just had Backlot as well. That ended 13-6, I believe, which actually might well be the score of this one. I mean, there's only there's obviously a load of rounds yet. I mean, we could see possibly Gamersject come back and take it to 13-10. But I am not convinced on that one, I've got to say. I've been away from COD for a long time, but I'm not that bad at it.
I don't know. I've seen teams come back from bigger round differences than this. But those teams are the teams that need the kick up the arse now and then. They'll go, guys, what are we actually doing? You know, I've seen Reason before, the likes of Diablo, Duffer, who have truly thrown games almost away and then brought it back from the absolute brink. But I don't see it within Gamersject at the moment. They don't seem to have that edge. They don't seem to have that versatility to just go, actually, A's not working, we're getting absolutely dominated by one player. Let's let's switch it up somewhere. Let's play slow mid. Let's try and get the picks. Let's get some really good nades back. Hey, they just don't seem to be understanding what Rage are doing and adapting in the right ways to it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe after this timeout they'll come back and be the best people we have ever seen on Crash. It'll be it'll be like Robbie Wiz relived. You know, it'll be phenomenal. But I just don't see it happening, but I can only hope so. But we are still waiting on, oh Christ, it's 2 players now? We've got
it's
one
MKP
more 999.
still. It's just MKP.
No, Yon Star, look at the ping. Tab.
Oh yes, he's gone as well.
Yeah, joy.
That is a problem for them as well. So yeah, you kind of need your players to play. It's just as straightforward as that. Yeah. But I mean, who else is sort of coming through in this one? Obviously, you've been covering the rest of the tournament. we're into the quarterfinals here. The semi-finals coming up shortly, and I think the finals are on Sunday, I believe.
They are indeed. But for, oddly enough, I thought PMP would have gone further than they did. I think they went out against a team either yesterday or the day before, and I thought they were going to be so strong in this. Cause, every game we covered of them, they were dominant. No one could stop them, no one could touch them. They're a truly confident-based team, and they were doing brilliantly. But I think they went out, in the last round. So, my predictions are absolutely awful and out the window. But we will be seeing the likes of Fragmasters, who truly gave a surprise, really good surprise against Antwerp Aces. I think it was yesterday. I want Fragmasters to win this. I think that a lot of people doubted them. I even doubted them, against Antwerp Aces. But they just showed what a great team they are. And I do like people who don't just necessarily depend on individual skill. They work on the team play and they work hard, and I know that even FM were a little inactive recently. They've had some players coming and going, but you can still see the fundamental basics of them being a really good team. So I think, yeah, we've got another timeout here. So I think the finals will probably be Rage against FM. Personally, I think Rage are a very good team at the moment. They're probably one of the better German teams in my mind currently. I'm not sure who else may even challenge them these days, but it is funny how the scenes change. You look at Cups back when obviously you were casting actively. I don't think you'd see either of these, teams, any of the players involved. But these days, I think, Rage are truly bringing the game to some of the more well-known teams. I know there was a little bit of an upset against the Nexus recently, who did run away with the whole scene for a while and won every LAN that was in sight. So I do like it when we do get a bit of a change. So personally, I'd like to see Rage beat FM in the finals, just for, I don't know, a little bit of a mix-up, because everyone knows FM, everyone knows them as a good team, and I think FM have done really well recently. But Rage as a collective, they've been truly upping their game. So we're just waiting on one now. But you're coming back into COD, D-man. You're having a few games here and there.
I'm coming back, am I? It's
yeah,
official.
slowly but surely. No, well, I'll guilt you into it.
It's like toss podcasting. It's official.
Ooh, bit of a sore spot. Way to bring down the tone. Yeah. Ouch. No. How are you feeling about COD? 'Cause a lot of people say, oh, it's slowed down. Oh, it's boring these days. It's not like it was. You don't get to see that. Breakout players like Diablo. Has it changed that much to you? I was never casting back in those days. I played it just. Has it changed that much?
Honestly, this map definitely seems to be a lot slower. It was definitely a lot faster paces. You were just having people literally sprinting for their life through the middle of the map, trying desperately to dodge those nades. Whether that's the case of people just got so much better at the nade positions that they could predict everywhere they were going, and naturally the meta changes and people kind of immediately react to this and start changing the style. And maybe it's just the way it happens. I mean, you've got to remember this is 4 years in the making. There's been a long time going across that. A long time. Things have changed a lot. So and a lot of players have come and gone. And so, like you say, there's new players that sort of rise as new stars in this. And whether they, whether you can compare them to the days at the start, well, you would assume it would be better now because it's 4 years developed. So therefore, the player skills should be stronger. But there's also a smaller pool of players, so maybe the skill level is good, but it's in a smaller pool of players, so therefore it's less than it used to be. I don't know. I mean, you got to remember back then that you could probably you turn up at, say, Antwerp Esports Festival or the experience across the 2 years, that there is really quite a lot of tournaments, and you could have 10, 15, 20 teams that could possibly win it. it was a very open game back then. But that was a case of, you know, somebody would have a cheese strat. So we talked about BB earlier. They always had a cheese strat in Crossfire. They were unstoppable on Crossfire. Pandemic were unstoppable on Crash. So you knew when you had, say, a group stage come out, you knew what maps you were going to get, and you were like, oh well, that one's lost. That one's lost. You could pick them out, and again, I guess you could say the same for Lowland Lions on Strike. They were unstoppable. There was that one famous round where they literally killed everyone with a grenade, and it was all perfectly slow timed grenades. It wasn't like everybody at the start. They just sat at the corner, grenade, sat at the corner, grenade, and they just got all 5 members. It was awesome. But we are live.
We are indeed. So I'm going to jump in straight away with Bounty, and let's see what he's up to. He's going for a little bit of an A push here. You know, a couple of nades falling to the feet here of Rage, and now they are on the back foot. So can they pull this back? Can they get the slower picks, the harder picks to get? As Bounty has to get a frag here in A to allow the bomb to come in there with him. So what can he do? He's just holding the push and letting the AK have a little bit of a look around who is in blue. Just trying to get a peek, and just, you know, he's calling to Bounty right now, you know, okay, this site's clear, I can't see anyone here. And it's just a process of elimination between them both. So you can see Bounty now checking lower A stairs. And it does slow down to such a pace that you just hope that Bounty flies out and gets some super sexy frags soon. But it is just waiting for someone just to miss peek. So it's all on Gamersject to sit in, play smart, and play keen. But there we go, as 90 picks up the first frag, but Bocky coming down at the best of times to catch Bounty almost out. But can Bounty get away? Yes, he can. As he's now called, there's 2 players in A. He picks up one of them. That is Clotty down and out. And now there's one to find in this A area. And we could see a rotate back from the bomb if he can get this. Bounty ignoring the player. And this could be a really bad decision. But Exor picks up the Deagle frag onto 90 and the scope shot onto Bounty. And now Ace has to get this bomb moving. There is a player in A with him. He knows it. He gets a little bit of a spray down. But Exor going absolutely huge that round. Picking up 3 frags there. And truly changing the round from a bit of a worrying one to a bit of a strong case for them.
Exor's picked up 13 frags, and 7 of them have been in 2 rounds. He's not really stretching it out, but you know when he gets that kill, there's generally going to be a couple more coming. So we're following Jonsto, works his way through hardware. Is he going to go straight up the B side? Looks like he is. He's got one just to the side of him. He needs to pick his moment. Does, in fact, nearly missed it as well. Took his good time. He's going to have to get the hell out of there, though. He spotted another one. I think it's Miles maybe coming down the road there. And he is going to get tagged up. It was Miles with the Deagle, comes straight through into the back there. So Exor at the moment knows he's got Miles coming towards him. As Miles makes his way around, the rest of the team are there, but you can see the 2 members of Gamersject are behind Miles. Miles actually looking the wrong way and getting, I think, distracted by his teammate. Catches a glimpse, easy Deagle on towards Lucky there. He realises he's on top of sandbags. Just takes a peek. It was Exor. He gets one. Can he go clutch here? He's gone clutch every single time, but Ace says no. And Bob is the last man standing. It is all on Bob. Bob, can you do it? Bob gets one. He's got Bounty to go. Ace is there. It wasn't the taste of paradise for him, and it is going to be Bob. Can Bob go big? He's against Ace. Ace is top fragger, by the way, for Rage at the moment. And Bob could well catch a glimpse. If he just looked to the left, he would have seen the back end. Look, left man, that's where he is. Run free. But he's got to go towards that bomb, and they realise it. There is 20 seconds left. And you know what? They are going directly towards each other. Of all the places on the map, can he find him? Bob is going to find Ace. Does manage to get the tag and takes him down. Beautifully done. Can he get the defuse in? He will. Plenty of time. And Bob goes big.
Explosives defused.
I have never been horrified in a mid-shoutcast by someone called Bob, but you know, that aim right on that B bomb was a little bit special. So I'm going to follow Bob right now, as he did do so well then, with a bit of questionable aim, but maybe he can step it up now. He's got a little bit of confidence boost on defense, flying out to mid, and I think I'm right with that confidence little boost there, as he almost pushed mid, but decided not to, as Katana will pick up the first frag onto Clotty there with the nade. So now that ace side is a little bit weaker, so Bob will dive back round and try and hold that little push. And will he be met with Bounty? Yes, he is, but Bounty goes down to the SMG work of Bob, but Ace with a quick reply. And now the advantage does rest with Rage, but oh, lovely little shot by Miles. Can he get the second? No, he can't, as Clotty, I believe it is. No, it's Lukey there, as my overlay did have a little bit of a bug, but he picks up the frag onto 90, and there's 2 players to find. Can he find either of them? Iron Sights around the sport corner, does spot one at the little Jen's area, but he doesn't manage to land the frag, as now the bomb is down, so he's got a time limit to this clutch, so he's got to get moving. 35 seconds left on the board, and now he's got to work his way into this A area, and it's so hard to retake. It's unbelievable. You've got 3 floors to look at. You've got one up there just basing out the fire, so he knows what position he is at. And there's the frag from Ace straight into Luki's face, and it's 11-7. This could be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, Bob couldn't pull it off from there, I'm afraid.
Sadly not.
Wasn't happening, but a beautiful shot by Miles, like you mentioned there, straight on to Exor, knew exactly where he was going to be, peeking towards Exor, looking towards blue. Can he catch anyone flashing past? He's not actually spotted anyone either, so it could well be a B push here. Nighty though works his way in towards 8. Youngster has picked up a frag. They've got to really have some strong defensive rounds. They need to be picking up. Nighty actually with the shotgun as well. Youngster picks up a second on Miles. Nighty spots one. Doesn't manage to get the frag though and goes straight down to Bob. Rage Bounty is the last man. Sorry, takes down one. Ace is with him actually. He's not the last man. Now he is. And that was a great round from Gamersject. It could be on. It could well be on. It's 11-8.
We spoke way too soon because it does seem as though Gamersject have finally woken up. So I'm going to see what Miles can do here. He's been confronted with a little bit of a push back from the Gamersject side. Can he pick up the frag onto B long? Not too sure as the smoke comes out. There is a player down there, but he doesn't want to be overly confident as Luki kicks us off with the nade onto Nighty. And that is one player down for Rage. Can Rage reply? No, they can't, as Exor picks up a frag onto Katana. And now Rage have a awkward situation to come out of, so let's follow Mars sneaking his way down B long with that deagle in hand. He will come into the sight of a player rather soon. He does leap out at the best timing, and there we go. Luki does pick up a frag, and now it's all left between Bounty and Ace, who are stuck in that blue area, and they are being encroached upon by a player right behind Bounty. Can he turn around in time? No, he can't, as Yonstar picks that up, and now Ace has to go huge. Gets first frag onto Yonstar, and he did get one previously onto Exor, so this isn't without, merit. He could actually go huge. Now does turn around, does spot the player just right in front of him, picks up the deagle frag onto Luki, and now 2 players left to go. Will they run into his iron sights like the previous 2 have? Cautiously peeking around each corner to make sure he's not overly exposed, but then you decide to walk, do you? Worst of times to walk across the biggest pick of the map, and it does get shut down. 9-11 is the comeback on D-Man.
Yeah, the last place you want to expose yourself is in an alley like that. It's not really pleasant, and nobody wants to see it. So, Miles does peek down the alley, catches a glimpse, and he was lucky, beautifully done, straight down B there. And that is the strength that Miles has given Rage so far. And could they pick up this round? They've picked up 2 already. It was Youngster's gone down, and MKP, aka Bob, is in a precarious position in the defence. Bounty, though, flashed up. Just outside of hardware. Exor does pick up the frag on 90 though. Rare Bounty's going to come around. He's surely going to run straight across in front of... And he's just acting as a decoy there because Katana came round. Took down Bob. Wasn't ready for it. Bounty and Ace pick up frags. And a quick round from Rage. And that's what they needed now because it is match point.
Indeed, this is breaking point for the Gamersject side, who need to step it up. This is where the comeback has to come into play, and that little bit they saved back has to be thrown out there. And there we go, Exor kicking us off with the scope onto 90, who was a shotgun, oddly enough. So let's keep it with Exor here. He's doing so well with that scope in the last few rounds, truly upping his game, now leading the way on the scoreboard. But Miles not taking no for an answer. He does pick up the deagle onto Bocky, aka Bob, but Katana does get tagged up for his troubles, and now the gameplay will slow down because they all know how much this round means to each of them. It does seem we've got a little bit of a B push coming out from Rage. They've happily split down there. Now Exor's obviously had a call from his team going, I can't see them A guys, flick around, make sure they're not pushing B, because there will be a player coming up on that ladder rather shortly, I can almost assure you. Can Miles make it up here without being in the sights of Exor? Exor's trained on that ladder, he spots him but doesn't get a shot off, and there we go, the B push has worked almost, but Yonstar not letting them get too far down here as Cody picks up one for himself as well. Now Rage not looking so strong, they had equal players and now they are left with 2 standing. We have Katana, I believe, and Ace, so following Ace with that bomb, can he get working for either of these sides? Katana picks up 1, that is exactly how you want to start this. Ace just needs to come in behind him and get into this A area, as it is the only one they've got a chance at. There's one player back A that they don't know about as of yet, and there's Exor coming in with the shot they exactly needed, and now Katana, close this game out, my friend. No, you will not, as Exor picks up the 2nd frag, and that is incredible, 12-10. Please do tell me this is not going to be a comeback and I'm going to have to eat my hat or something.
Well, you got to hope they're going to land some really good nades at the start here. That's really can turn the difference for Gamersject. They've got to land those opening frags. Will they get any? No, they won't. It doesn't appear. And Bob is going looking for frags. He's got his blue gun and he's proud. He's not going to find any that way though, because he's just running around the back and hiding. He is going to have one though, just coming around this corner. Bob, can you make it? Bob goes big, catches a glimpse. He was, I think, you see that nice. I think he might be Bounty. Bounty's been pushing his way. He's got just round the corner here. Bob needs to peek. He's going to see one. As soon as he turns around that corner, they're just sat ready and waiting. He's hiding, looking, hoping someone goes over that wall, and they may well do it. Meanwhile, everything's happening around the map, but Bob is sat ready. And Bob wants his frag. Comes around, finds one, does manage to get it on towards Katana there. Very nicely done. He's got one just around the corner. He's been looking at this fence all day long, and he may well get his chance if he actually takes a peek. He's going to go too far, surely. He could well shoot his bolt too early. He's holding his defensive position, but surely if they just hop up and over, he is going to get taken down. It was Bounty. And he gets straight away taken down, replied there by Colty, but 90 with a very nice shot there. It was actually Miles trying to no-scope him. It's really saved by 90 there. And, well, you got to be honest, Gamersject should have just stayed defensive there instead of going looking for the flags. Exor now suddenly going a little bit crazy and didn't want to land on that sandbag. And now he's going to make his way in towards A site. Smoke goes down. He realises there is one around here somewhere. He's going to peek. He's above him. He gets one shot. Actually, was lucky. Managing to get the frag onto him. Miles, the last man standing. He has got the bomb. He is just above. But he has got that scope. Is he going to switch to Deagle? He tries to plant. They're tagging him up. They take him down. It's 12-11. Could we get overtime here? I don't know. It's all on Bob.
I've got to follow Bob. You know, he made a bit of a mistake there. You know, he was watching the jump and he had a little bit of a crossfire in A with Colty. Colty was watching the stairs push and Bob was watching the jump. So that is what, you know, he was trying to set up there. And if they just sat a little bit more defensively and didn't peek onto that bin like you were egging them on to do, it's almost like he heard you. You know, you shouldn't encourage these people to do this. But he does pick up the nade onto Miles, and this is the round he needs to be getting these frags. Exor picks up one for himself, and this is exactly what Gamersject needed. And Rage definitely on the back foot as Bocky picks up another. Well done, Bob. I am so proud of you. Bocky flies out. Can he get the 180 frag? No, he can't, as Katana is now in a world of trouble. As there's 4 players, and there we go, 12-12. What an incredible scoreline and an incredible game. I never expected this from Gamersject.
Well, Bob definitely brought it out there on when it counted. But Exor, 22 frags, Ace 24, so very nice from those two. And we are into overtime. I'm guessing it's still MR3. I don't think anything's changed too much in FPS games in the years that I've been absent. But that was a great little comeback there and a great defensive round. The problem is they had so many issues on the attack. Can they actually pick up a round? Because they really struggled. And honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm not convinced. I know Bob's got it in him, but I'm not too sure about the rest of the team. They don't seem to be supporting him when it counts. But Rage are a very strong defensive round. You remember they went, it was something like 7-3 or something like that,
yeah,
7-5. It was a strong round, whatever it was. It was a big score. They went big. So really, the pressure's going to be on Gamersject here. They need to pick up at least a round on the attack.
I almost agree with you to the point that I don't think the pressure is on Gamersject right now. I think it's on Rage. They're a firm favourite in this. You know, everyone knows who Gamersject are. You know, if you play the game constantly, you'd probably play this at some point. But Rage are the known team. They should not be taken to 12-12 by a relatively, you know, unknown kind of team. This shouldn't be happening, and they truly let it slip. That is the biggest problem. You know, Ace looks so strong on attack and defense, but they just didn't manage to get the rounds that really mattered. Now, Gamersject look like they're raring to go as they're all readied up and in the action, but Rage have 2 players, and hopefully they're in a little chat between each other and, you know, trying to sort out what actually happened in those last few rounds, because it clearly wasn't working. And maybe this time Exor has woken up and has realised, okay, I can beat these guys, they're not that good. If I'm a little bit confident, if I get the right peaks, right picks, we can win this, guys. And that is exactly what you need to be doing. Hopefully they're a bit of a confidence-based team. There are so many out there. They can just continue this kind of absolute fever they've been having and running rampage through this map. But as you said, Gamersject did have a bit of trouble on attack. So maybe it won't be the best of starts for them. But, you know, even if they pick up a round, maybe 2, you can't be unhappy with that. It's attack and it's, you know, MR3. You just got to take what you can get. So we are just waiting on Katana here. But I am going to dive out and get a drink of water because my throat is going to die, because I can see this being almost interesting unless Bob gets left alone. Yeah, unless Bob gets left to kind of handle it himself. So I'll leave this game in your capable hands for the whole time, about 1 minute.
I can handle that, I think. I can just about handle it.
I don't know, you're pretty new to this.
The new game, I'm not too sure. And I've not cast before at all, ever. It's all very new. So, what are we going to see? We're going to see the teams ready up, hopefully. That would be a good start. It is Katana and Colty we're just waiting for, so the 2 teams. They know there's a lot on the line here. Of course, Gamersject are 1 map down already. Rage with that opening map on backlot already in the bag. And a fantastic round from Katana. Katana's not really shined through since he's switched map, so clearly backlot was his strong round. But Ace was very, very strong in this A house on the defensive. But I just don't know. I'm just not sure. And really, there's a lot of pressure on them. Katana's now just waiting for the ready up. Hopefully he'll get himself in the game shortly. Of course, if you have just joined us, we've been going for a while. This is myself and Pansy bringing you Call of Duty 4 action. Yes, if you are my League of Legends viewers, then you are not hearing things. I am doing Call of Duty 4. I used to do this before, by the way, guys. It was a while ago, though. And people kind of forgot as well. They may have. But we are going another way, and let's follow Miles. No, that's not follow Miles because he's boring. He's just scoping straight down that B house. Katana does open up with the frag there, and immediately Colty, who was the man that was causing the problems for them, has gone down. So this could be immediately an issue for Gamersject. But Yonstar does find a frag. 90 getting a kill of his own though on Yonstar as to try and push the way. And Bocky maybe going to think about jumping up and over. Lucky does take down 90 though. It is 3-on-3. Bocky peeking. They've got 2 in defense here. Rage. Will anyone peek? They are wisely keeping their heads down. Ace was the man of the moment for Rage in the first round on this A defense. Could he be the man again? Bocky still continues to peek. He wants someone to just show their heads, and they are staying perfectly defensive. Bounty peeks just ever so slightly, backs away. Lucky's with him, has picked up the bomb, and Bocky still going to rotate round, but immediately gets tagged up as he shows himself to Katana. And now Bounty peeks a little bit. Could he stretch too far? Ace is there with him, and Exor is coming around the side. He's got Katana around the back, just to the left-hand side on this backside. If he peeks towards him, I'm not too sure whether he will. It is Katana actually going away from him, so let's switch across. Katana's going to go up B Street. Ace, meanwhile, staying perfectly, very well disciplined in that defensive round. Lucky gets a shot on towards Katana, doesn't manage to make it though. Comes around, Exor does get the frags, and then they're going to 2-man push straight towards B. Rage realise it, they're going to have to rotate round, they're going fast as furious. Ace is going to come around the side there with Bounty. Ace takes a peek down road, doesn't manage to get the shot off, does take down one. You can see a furious Lucky trying to punt. I'm not convinced whether Lucky's got it in him. He doesn't, Bounty takes it, and that will be a Rage round. And they did so well to get in the position, but once they got there, they just didn't look confident about defending that B Street. And that is going to be a clean defuse for Ace.
I cannot believe Bounty got the kill with that wallbang. Of all times to do it, you even mentioned earlier that no one's getting the wallbang kills anymore these days, and he did the oldest trick in the book. So let's follow Miles off the bat here with that scope in hand. What can he do when it matters? Has a little peek to blue, not landed any shots. And you can see that Gamersject are definitely taking this one carefully, but not carefully enough as Bocky goes down to the lovely scope work there from Miles with a peachy little headshot. So now Gamersject have to claw back a frag. They've got to play careful, because you know that Rage will be sitting back and being cautious themselves. So every corner there'll be someone around. I've got to flick across to Colty here, who's managed to worm his way into A, but he's going to be coming up against the likes of Ace and Bounty. And Ace picks up one for himself, 90 down and out. But has Colty overdone it once again, as I think Bounty snuck into low A, and he will pick up the frag onto Yonstar. And Colty, you left your teammate truly out to dry there, and now you've got to make up for it, and he cannot do so as Ace will pick up the frag onto him. And now it's all on Exor. Can he do anything now with 4 very hungry players looking for a certain meal? So here we go. He flies round blue, but Bounty just strolling out of A happily, picks up the frag 0-2, and Gamersject just look like a different team.
Absolutely, and this is what we talked about. It was the attack round. They just can't seem to pull it off here. And they are going to try a quick push this time. Looks like Gamersject. They need to get themselves in towards that A house fast and deal with Ace and Bounty, because they are ripping them apart. Flashbang goes out towards Bocky. Bocky dives down, immediately gets himself in towards A house, but Ace is there again. He is causing so many problems in this A house. Does take down Bounty, but Ace comes to support. Bocky picking up a double frag though. Did take down 90 at the same time, but Ace again stands strong. 3-on-2. Can Gamersject pick up around? They have to get around, really. Exor does take down Miles. It is all on Ace. He's been so strong at the back of this A house. Can he be stronger again? He's going to have Exor in front of him, and he makes another frag, and that's the round that they needed. Gamersject do pick up the one. Can they go strong in defense? I'm not sure, Lauren. This could well be close.
I do not know what to say. This is incredibly close, and Gamersject just clawed it back. There is a hope. There is a fading light in the background of the chance they might win this. So I'm going to have to follow one of their players, and it's going to be Exor, because he did get 5-2 even on the attacking side, which is very unlike him, because he didn't really show up until the defensive side. So maybe he'll go absolutely huge now. So following him with the scope. Peeks towards blue, spots one player going A. He'll call out to his teammates so they can keep count of where these players are going. There's another. Doesn't manage to get a shot off yet, but here we go as the tags do come flying in, and so do the frags for Rage. And now 2 players down. for Gamersject. This is not looking good unless they claw back a couple more as Johnstar will take down one. That was Miles. But 90 with another. Come on, please, Gamersject. Do not let this get out of your grasp. I'm just going to stick with Exor, as he is got himself in a good position, but actually switching across to Bocky there. He does pick up the frag onto Bounty, but Ace already in that A area. So Bocky has to pick up a couple of frags here as there's 3 remaining. Can he keep this within the grasps of Gamersject? I'm not too sure, because you can see the rotate already coming out from Rage. Katana going towards that B-bomb with the bomb in hand, getting that down to make it even harder for him to even stand a chance. He's got a player above him, player waiting, I think it might be even on Glitch. So there's the peek from Glitch. Can Bocky get the frag, or at least stay alive? Gets the frag onto 90. Fantastic work, 2 more to find. He's got to be so careful, the guy behind him, but he flies up here onto Sandbag. Will he spot the player? No, he won't. Katana pricks it up, and it's 3-1. Do you think there's a chance in hell that Gamersject can bring it back, or is this it?
Well, they're going to have 2 strong defensive rounds, because Rage picking up the attack straight away. Something that took Gamersject 3 rounds to do. So, and it was all about that B push again. Miles went very strong down there, picked up the frag, and Rage quickly got themselves an opening down there. And again, they're doing it. Miles does get a tag, but Lucky replies with a grenade. I don't think he was expecting that, though. Bounty trying his best to get a kill there. It will be on Colty. Drops from the crash chopper. Doesn't manage to pick anything else up, though, so it's all square still. And Gamersject really have to be strong in this defensive round. They cannot afford to lose any more men. Exor does pick up one, though, but immediately replying. Lucky gets a frag, but it is tit for tat all the way here. Lucky and Exor versus Bounty and Katana. Bounty has been tagged up, so they know his position. Quickly hides out, gets that bomb. Is he going to rotate round towards B? Will he go for A? He gets tagged again in the backside, just about surviving by the skin of his teeth. The $1 million shot in the butt cheeks, and will manage to hang on. It's Katana tagged up this time, and he does finally go down. It is just one man standing. Bounty, they know exactly where he is. He goes for the plant. Can they shut him down, though? I don't think you're going to get him in time. He will get the bomb plant in, so he's going to have to be all defensive now. Bounty takes a couple of shots. You can see them rattling through on the A house, and he is just going to stay prone. He knows the position. Smoke goes down. That's actually going to work in his favour, you know, that smoke. I'm not too sure that was the greatest thing to do for Gamersject. They're going to certainly get themselves in a position. Are they going to try and bum rush in? Will he take him down? He's got the SMG on top of stairs. Gets one. Can he get the second now? Look, he suddenly realises he's in a nasty position. This is not the place he wants to do. Goes the right way. Beautifully done. Gamersject get the defuse. They just need one more round for double overtime.
Oh my god. I bet Rage are absolutely kicking themselves for even asking for best of 3 instead of just best of 1. This is not what they clearly expected. They cannot be happy with this. So I'm going to have to follow Bounty here as he is leading the way on the scoreboard for the Rage side, working their A side to perfection, but sadly just not clinching it when it mattered there. And this could be the round that secures them the victory. Leaving the bomb in blue, no one falling as of yet. You can see how careful they're being, because this is when it really matters, as the first frag will fall in favour to Gamersject onto Miles. Now Rage have to claw one back. Bounty cautiously peeking into A, not giving away too much, making sure Link's clean, no one's there. So you're just checking every corner. You can see how much they want to win this. This is truly careful play from Bounty. Hopefully not overexposing himself to A, because once you said before that you don't want to be doing that in Dark Alleys. He spots one in mid-A as Exor picks up another frag onto 90. A Rage peeking a little too much as Bounty's doing it perfectly, but it seems his teammates just don't have the same care as Exor picks up another frag. Fantastic round from him. This guy is truly stepping up to play when it matters, and now Bounty has to go huge, and there we go. 3-3. And it's going to be more overtime. Jesus, Exor, what a player. Truly doing brilliantly there.
Yeah, 10 frags there. That's just showing, shining through there. Really carrying his team very well. When it counted, and would you believe it, we are going to have double overtime here on Crash. Can Gamersject pick up those attacking rounds? That's where they've struggled so hard. Yeah. It took them 3 rounds to get that last one. And Rage immediately got it, but well, they did it in a full reverse there. So it is going to be all pressure on Gamersject again here. And you know what? Ace has just defended that back A site so well. And he's been so patient as well. They're Bounty with him as well. You've got to give him a bit of credit for the support. But it's been a fantastic few rounds so far. And considering it was so far ahead for Rage, really, we never expected to be hitting overtime, let alone double overtime. Quick peek there. Miles spit, misses one actually going towards A site. It was Bocky. Bocky got tagged up heavily there. Just about dives out of the way. But Miles nearly took one to his face as well. Bocky works his way through, gets a tag on the grenade there on Ace, works his way straight towards the backside, gets himself into A house now. Katana with the frag, and that's, oh, how did he not make that kill? I do not know. And Bocky goes down to Bounty eventually. Ace hanging on twice there. First from a grenade, then from an SMG. 90 though, closing out the round. One last standing. Bounty finds him. And would you believe it, it's a team ace after such a great start from Gamersject.
I don't know what to say about Gamersject. They go on the defensive and they're great. As soon as they get that behind them, they're happy as anything. They can truly take the game to Rage. But you see them on attack and they look so scared to change anything. I know in double overtime it's not the time you want to be changing tactics, but surely you got to change something up because Miles already dropping down their star player Exor, who did just casually peeking a little bit too much at B long, and now the frags are truly coming in for the forms of Rage, and here comes 3, 4, make it almost 5 as now just Colty has to step up. It's not actually Colty, it's the overlay bug as Yonstar left on B long, Nade coming to his feet, 2-0, Rage doing so well, and why can't they do this on attack? Why are these teams so defined by the sides they're on? Is Crash truly this one-sided?
Seems to be. Certainly the team's just empty to handle it, and Gamersject now have all the pressure on them. They've managed to defend so well, but they just can't get that attack. But I guess you could say the same for Rage, really. It's only fair. They've done the exact same. Katana does open up the frag, so Yonstar. Bocky works his way in. Lucky manages to take down 90. Is Bocky going to make his way in? They've had so much pressure, so many problems getting in this A house. I only recall really one bomb plant from Gamersject on this map. Katana picks up another. It was Exor. Miles is going up towards that alleyway, and surely he's going to catch a couple around this backside. One's going to come around the corner any second. There he is. Easy deagle for Lucky there as he catches him reloading, and now switches back around. Gamersject in all sorts of trouble. This could well be curtains for them. Bocky now, last man standing. He had it in him before, but it's not going to happen this time. It's 3-0. That's the half that Rage wanted.
I don't know what to say. I hope Gamersject pull it back, but do they deserve it off that attacking side? I don't know. I think they almost give up. They'll drop like flies. They're not cautious enough. But I'm gonna have to follow Exor because he was so good on this side before. He got 10 frags in the first overtime. Can he get a couple more to add to the list of absolutely phenomenal takedowns? So you can see him playing a little bit more carefully, not going straight away for the easy peek. He's gone for the broken wall pick here to try and stop them pushing that mid area, which seemed to be an issue before. But you can see an A kind of attack coming out from Rage. They're not pushingly, overly aggressive. But here we go as Lukey takes us away with the frag onto Ace. And here we go again. Gamersject looking so strong. And Bob going massive there in A. Picking up 2 frags. One to his own team, sadly. But still, Bob, what are you doing? There's 2 more below you. Can you truly make the most of this? He's not looking the right way right now. Please turn around and watch those stairs because your teammate has your back, Don't over-peek this, Bob. Turn around and hold the angle. That is exactly what you need to do right now. There's 2 SMG players still alive that you know are SMG players by now. You've got Bounty, Katana, Ace maybe down and out, but Katana can happily pick it up and push in there with absolute ease. So just hold that angle. Tell your teammate to watch back A. As you can see the players in lower area trying to peek every angle they can. You can see there's Bocky picking up one onto Miles, but don't overdo it now or make it at least sexy COD as he peeks out there. Can he be going a little bit too aggressive? There's one to his left. Can he pick up the frag? No, he can't. As there's one behind him. It must be Bounty left. Goes for the knife and Bounty picks him up with the SMG kill. Maybe a little bit too confident, but maybe not as Exor is there in turn. Picks up the headshot onto Bounty 3-1. Are we going to see this again?
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be very much pressure situation, and you got to feel if Gamersject suddenly lose 1 or 2 very quickly, they might crumble like a pack of cards. But Rage, well, they certainly struggled to make their way in there, and Bocky did a fantastic job of defending. There he is, the opening 2 kills, that they needed. 90 does manage to get onto Lucky though, and this time they are pushing on towards that B site. Ace does manage to take down Colty as well. Can Rage close this one out? It would be 4-1, game over, and they did pick up the first map on backlot, and well, Katana with that bomb is making his way around and nobody really looking towards him. He's got his teammate with him as well in hardware as well. They have a full B push on here. I'm not too sure whether Gamersject are clear on the defensive. Exor is trying to get himself in a position to cover this one off. He seems to be in a good position as well. Takes a peek. Miles though takes down Yonstar. Not good. Bocky does help him out though, and it is a 2-on-2 all square. Ace drops down. Are they going to rotate round? The bomb loose, just comes around the side, tries to get the tags, doesn't take it. Bocky's there again. Bob goes strong when it counts. Exor's there. My God, it's 3-2. Could it be triple overtime?
What are they doing to me? They're just putting me through pain. One of you close it out, please. At least Gamersject either step on attack, step it up and truly shut out the rounds when it matters, or at least finish the job. Rage. Just you're just making it painful. And Bob taking us away here with the first frag onto Miles, and he's been doing so well. You can see him going for a bit of an aggressive push through mid here, but only to find Katana doing the same thing on the other side. Can he pick up the frag onto Blue? No, he can't. He's just dialed away, but 90 through the little chopper there, but Exor with a lovely little wall bang, and now he is left to really take this back. He needs this round to stay in the game. If he doesn't manage to pick these 2 frags, that is GG. So here we go, flying out of hardware, scope within grasp, and the bomb is going down in A. You can hear it, maybe a fake, no it's not, bomb down. Now there's a time limit to what he can do. 40 seconds on the board, he's got to get a little bit closer than this, otherwise this is not possible. Does tag up Ace, I believe, at top A there. He does manage to worm his way almost into A. This is exactly what he needed. 30 seconds out, counting down, spots on back A, doesn't land the frag, but does get the tap onto 90, dives round to Woodham, picks it up onto 90, one more to find, Ace to go, and where is Ace positioned himself? Oh, that is very keen, and here we go, Ace just has to wait for the perfect moment, and there it is, Ace takes us to 4-2, GG, thank you very much, and Rage finally stepping up on the defensive side. So